Alright, then it's time for a Kha'Zix game, and this one surprised me at how many requests it had. Which one? I mean, I thought people would have gotten sick of him from last season, but apparently not. This is kind of the conundrum that happens every now and then. A champion is seen constantly during the season, and then the next season he isn't seen at all, and people start acting like it's a miracle when he gets played. The thing is, sometimes indirect changes to a champion bring them down. Sometimes the nerfs themselves destroy the champion. In this case, Kha'Zix got a bit of both, but it didn't really affect what he truly is supposed to do, which is kind of what bothers me. Look, the most annoying request I got from the Kha'Zix game is the people that were acting as if Kha'Zix was some super secret OP champion, or that he's back, he was this and stuff like that. How is he back? He was never really gone. Yeah, like I am a firm believer that if the season's 5 jungle supported champions like him, he would still be really strong. I mean, he would still have been picked regardless of the nerfs he got. The problem is this jungle doesn't support that kind of crap. This meta doesn't support his kind of style. It's the tanky meta. Even if Kha'Zix hadn't been nerfed at all, he probably wouldn't be picked right now because the tank meta is something that he's really bad at. It's sort of like the other assassin type junglers or carry type junglers. They're not going to be played against tanks because they're just not going to be able to do anything against tanks. So that's why I think Kha'Zix is just in the sidelines, and the people acting as if he's some secret OP. It's really silly. It's like, we know what he's capable of. Like, he's great because he's a versatile fighter. You can build him for upfront burst with his evolved Q, wave clear with his W, and poking power. More, let's say, ganking prowess with his E, more maneuverability, that kind of stuff. Some tankiness and stealth with his ultimate, which is not really recommended to evolve first anyways. But yeah, he's a versatile champion. He's really strong in team fights and in the ganking phase, although he doesn't really pack much crowd control. The point of the matter is, it's just that, like, people act as if a champion gets nerfed and it's the end of the world and that champion is now suddenly at the bottom of the pits, but it's just not the case. Sometimes a champion doesn't even move anywhere. It's just the world around them changes. I'm not really commentating on this game too much because I'm not the best Kha'Zix player, and I only played him as a result of so many damn requests. And I wanted to show, and I kind of talk about this. Like right now, Sejuani and Gragas are the top dogs. Once Gragas and Sejuani get nerfed, then we might continue seeing them played, or we might not. What if the meta switches around them, right? Let's say the meta switches to support, I don't know, support type junglers. And I don't mean tanks. I mean stuff like Lulu or some shit for some reason. All of a sudden, Sejuani and Nautilus and Gragas aren't picked as much, and even if they got no nerfs, some people might start thinking, oh, it's no longer worth banning them, they must be weaker, they must be something. They're not weaker themselves as champions, they're weaker of the meta. So if your opponents aren't really exactly picking meta champions, then your pick, if you pick Sejuani or Gragas, it really wouldn't hurt you. And remember, Gragas is someone that kept going in and out of the meta constantly. And he's a champion I would pick religiously back then. In the last season, when people thought that Jungle Gragas had been killed, I still picked the bastard because his qualities were still there. Maybe made a little bit rougher around the edges, or some things were nerfed, but it didn't really change the essence of the champion. And this is what I'm arguing about for Kha'Zix. The essence he has of a champion, of a fighting champion with a strong assassination powers and damage and versatility is still there. Nerfs aside, that may have made him a little bit less sustained or a slightly less damaging or all that kind of sorts of stuff. So, remember this too. Trundle, people call him a bad champion, but why? A few seasons ago we called him OP as shit. Gragas, I already mentioned Gragas, but he, from season 0, season 1, season 2, he's always been a different type of champion. He's been AP Gragas, he's been tank Gragas, he's been jungle Gragas, he's been support Gragas, and every single time, just like something happens to change him, people call him bad, they discover something new with him, and all of a sudden he's God now. I've made mistakes like that before, calling something weak when it's been nerfed, but it's still been as strong as ever. Irelia is a really good example. Remember, people would always say, please buff Irelia now. Oh, Irelia's never received the buff or some shit like that. And she keeps coming back into the meta somehow, some way. And right now, people are demanding she get nerfed even more. So it's like Kha'Zix is still well alive and still strong, and he's not a secret OP champion. He's just not preferred right now. And like I said, if it shifts to a more assassin-y meta or something where he excels in, then I'm pretty damn sure he'll come back. Because look at all the other choices you have. They're not as good as him. They're not as versatile as him. I mean, Kha'Zix is still probably the second best fighter jungler in the game, only second to Pantheon, because Pantheon is fucking ridiculous when he actually gets snowballing, but he's got his own flaws. I mean, like, just the weirdest shit have been said to me, and I'm getting pretty emotional about it because to me personally, it upsets me to see people devalue champions or devalue things just because they get this weird ass idea that a champion is useless for pretty much no reason. Like, this is completely unrelated to any champions, but it's a common psychological thing to denounce something, like just make shit up or claim it as a absolute just because you personally feel a certain way. Someone told me, "Oh, League of Legends is dying." Doesn't it feel like that? So I'm like, why? What's indicating that League is dying? It's still growing in player base. It's growing more in the professional scene, and there's a lot more money being invested in it. How is it dying? If you personally don't like the game, said that's one thing, but don't claim it as that the game is dying. Don't try to dilly-dally around the fact that you personally aren't enjoying the game you've invested so much time into. And that's sort of how I feel about these champions. People just don't want to admit that they don't find the champion currently fun for some reason, or they personally feel ashamed of playing said champion. This is actually a really, really big one. I've seen players not play a champion because they for some reason think it's bad, even though they've played it and they don't really understand why they believe that. It's sort of like, I've been told by other people that X champion is bad, therefore I shouldn't play this champion. Like, they keep themselves from doing something that they enjoy just because they don't want to make other people feel bad that they're being forced to play with some quote unquote weak champion. I've seen players when I've played fives. Hey guys, is it okay if I play Master Yi? And I'm like, why are you asking us? Just play what you want. Oh, it's because he's weak right now, and I don't want to make us lose the game. This literally happened. Someone was really careful about picking Master Yi in a fives game with us. Fives normal blind pick, okay? And the thing is, I don't think Master Yi's weak. He's flawed, but that's just kind of how flawed melee champions in League are flawed in most cases. But yeah, it's just like he kept himself from enjoying his pick or enjoying his pick in a mode that doesn't matter for shit. Because he's really afraid of letting other people down over something that he really doesn't understand himself. It's like cognitive dissonance in a way. Like, I want to challenge people with this, and I'm pretty sure you've also challenged other people with this too, some of you who are more keen of accepting the strengths of all champions. Ask them to tell you, why is a champion bad? And write that shit down, or remember that shit. Then when that champion becomes strong, because we know rotations with champions come and go every fucking season, or hell, every 2 months when a new patch comes out, just ask them, why is this champion bad? And when he becomes good, ask them, why is this champion good? And if any of those things contradict a past statement they made, call them an idiot. It's sort of like this. Some people are surprised Poppy top lane is being picked at the moment. And I'm like, why are you surprised? Well, she hasn't seen any changes. How does she go to being top tier if she hadn't received any changes? Because the world around her received changes. She's really good at killing tanks and punishing squishy fighters so that, like, she's very good at getting the only squishy fighter that's often in the teams right now and murdering them. The enemy tanks, no matter how much CC they have, can't do anything. I've been having success as Olaf because if teams are super tank heavy, I just ignore them and kill their MVP and they don't do anything. You saw my Garen game the other day in which like the enemy team had a lot of tanks and I just beelined for the Vayne, killed her, and they couldn't do anything. Stuff like this make champions better, indirect changes, and at the same time they make them worse. If the meta were to shift into being a sort of auto-attacking fighters club, Master Yi might actually see a resurgence. But right now, tanks are obscene and everywhere. So champions like Kha'Zix and Master Yi are not really liking this meta. So yeah, I went on a super long rant about it, but it's just something that irks me, right? Most every champion in this game has value. Every champion in this game has a point, has something that makes them, something that gives them a focus. And like their strengths are going to be outlined in certain metas and they're not going to be outlined in others. But just to completely call a champion bad just because they're not picked is probably the dumbest thing you can do in this game. Or hell, actually the dumbest thing to do in this game is to not let yourself pick your favorite champions or your best champions just because you feel at the moment they might be weak. Do you think the people who play Sejuani before she became the queen of the jungle gave a shit? Like that Mr. Oink guy who dominated mid lane as Sejuani, which is the craziest thing ever. Like, do you think he gave a fuck? Most of the people who are in higher divisions don't care. Hell, look at me. I play pretty much any goddamn jungle I want and that I can justify. And I can seemingly make it work. It's just play, again, I'll just say it again. Play what you want as long as it makes sense. And don't be a fucking meta humper. That just ruins the fun. And in the end, video games, whether you just want to win, are kind of just intended for fun. And I don't know about you, but I'd personally rather win playing Jungle Maokai or Jungle Malphite than playing the same fucking champions every single day. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure to also check out the sponsors that make this channel possible. Links to their websites are in the description below.